Hello, one and all. How are we doing today? Welcome into the third Code Crown Extra this week. Because I did say that we would look at these starter decks the same way we looked at the Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duel Birth of Hero structure deck earlier in the week. And since we're covering Liberator on the channel now, on the live shows, just that bit more, I thought it would be apropos of us to really kind of get into the nitty and gritty of it, you know? Well, maybe not, I don't know about nitty and gritty, but I do want to give like an overview of like the two decks. They are due out in English now in September, along with Booster EX7. Which I wasn't sure if I should, like, I've already opened my box. I wasn't sure if phrasing. I've already opened up my box of those cards. I wasn't sure if I should have waited for a video like this and let them sit, or I didn't know now that the packs were open if just going through the individual cards would be all that exciting. But structure decks, I thought we're covering Liberator already on the channel. The English versions are due out, so if you haven't seen the Japanese versions yet and you're kind of curious of what's inside, then let us take just a very quick look. Also didn't know if I wanted to do them individually, because right now on the live show we just finished up Shoto's battle against the NPC Frozen Knight, and that was, you know, so the cards in this would be a lot more current to what we're doing on the live show, where we're not scheduled to cover Arissa's battle with Violet on the live show for another couple of weeks, just because of the way scheduling is. So I don't like, so I wasn't sure if I wanted to do the two together, but or space them out a bit. But I just thought, no, we'll do the two of them. Maybe because by the time we get around to the Violet and Arissa battle in Liberator itself, the English versions might already be out, and we can look at the English versions and take another look at all that, maybe with an English box of EX7, and kind of make a bigger deal of it. So we are going to set the Arissa starter deck aside just for a moment. And we'll open up the Guardian Vortex structure deck. So now, so there's the box. There's the back. I got mine from Okiniland. Totally recommend them. Totally recommend Okiniland as a resource for Digimon card game or just other paraphernalia. Couldn't get them through Zenin TCG, and Amazon just wasn't shipping these to my location. So I kind of wondered, were they just kind of sold out, or was there like an embargo in place for like the first month that retailers couldn't ship outside of Japan or something? Because even initially Okiniland wouldn't ship me these, but I just tried again on a whim and was like, yeah, we can ship these to your location now. So anyway, so comes with the standard playmat. Something I wish the Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duel starter deck came with. You'll see we've got this really nice art here of Zephyrgamon and Terramon. And then on the back, you know, just the usual, like, this is how the cards work, and here's how to play the game. Just little, you know, little bits of tutorial items. Nothing really, nothing too crazy. But We'll fold that back up. And it just fell off the side of the table. That's lovely. Okay. So, setting aside, speaking of rules, as per any Digimon structure deck, you have the rule cards that come with it, teach you about turn order and all that stuff. A little insert card to advertise Liberator, with more rulings, with more how to play the game on the back. So first up, then, this aside here. So a lot of these are going to look familiar if you've been taking part in our read-along of Liberator. So we have Fluffymon here, and we get 1, 2... Let's check something here. Okay. 3 and 4 copies of Fluffymon. Then we get Piyomon here with 1, 2, 3 copies of Piyomon. Oh no, sorry, hold on. 4. I am dumb. 4 copies of Piyomon. We get 1, 2, 3, 4 copies of Falcomon. And remember what I said about the Yu-Gi-Oh game, where experience has taught me when you buy a structure deck, you're probably best off buying 2, so you can guarantee yourself a playset. This is an instance of that, because in Terromon's own starter deck, you get 1, 2 copies of Terromon. Now, yes, they are rare, they're shiny, they're... Right, but you still only get 2 copies of the box monster. 2. The other birds, you got 4. Terromon, you only get 2. Which I think you could have easily swapped out a Piyomon or a Falcomon for another 2, give a playset, or even just an extra 1. But anyway, we have Muchomon here. We get 1, 2, 3, 4 copies of Muchomon. Yeah, even swap out a copy of Muchomon for another Terromon. That way both of Shoto's partners are represented. Then we have Kiwimon here. And we get, as our first level 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 copies of Kiwimon. Fun! Then we have Cockatreemon. And we get 1, 2, 3, 4 copies of Cockatreemon. Then Galemon is up next, our next shiny. 2 copies of Galemon, right? Because that makes sense. 2 copies of Terramon, 2 copies of Galemon. That makes perfect sense. And Galemon is a super rare. So he's just that extra bit shinier than the Terramon cards. Then we get Deramon, who R.I.P. to the Deramon in my fanfic. So we get also common 1, 2, 3, 4 copies of Deramon. Then we get 2 copies of Grand Galemon. And then we get Parrotmon. 1, 2, 3, 4 copies of Parrotmon as our second level 5. Then we get 2 copies of Zephagamon. I love the art. I do love the art for Zephagamon here. 2 copies though. And then we get Eaglemon, or that's not his name. I know that thing had a different name. Anyway, Eaglemon is the dub name, I guess. So, anyway, We get 1, 2, 3, 4 copies of Eaglemon. Then we have our first Tamer card, Shoto Kazuma. And we get 4 copies of Shoto. Very nice. We then get 4 copies of Anomoi Embrace. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And we get 2 copies of Green Memory Boost featuring the box art, which is a really cool alt art of Green Memory Boost. So I think that, oh, there we go. So I think that's pretty cool. Shine doesn't really pick up on the camera, but oh well, no, these aren't shiny. They are meant to be super rare, but I guess it's just because they're alt arts. Like they don't have the super rare shine to them that Galemon does, but or even Zephagamon. They very much come across as just commons, but I am assured they are super rare. Anyway, so you might have noticed there was a stack of cards that I kind of pulled away from the end. So each starter deck came with alternate art reprints. So I wanted to kind of go through them separately to the deck. And what we have then is yeah. So this is offense training. Again, really fun. So we have offense training here. And I believe the next one, yes. So we have offense training. Then we have mental training, which is just, I love this. This is just super cute, adorable art of Terramon and Shumon just napping together. It's so cute. The art style. It's just very wholesome almost. Can art styles be wholesome? Anyway, so we have mental training. Then we have physical training, which I love the Digimoji effect going through the card. Because oh jeez, it's up too high. There we go. I love the Digimoji effect going through the card because when the light hits it, it really kind of stands out. Unfortunately, the camera doesn't really do it justice. But looking at it like in real time, it has this kind of embossed look to it when the light hits it, and it just really makes it stand out. So I'm very happy with that. And just in case the camera was that little bit too high, there is the mental training in all of its just wholesome cuteness. And then here is the offensive training again. So. Moving on to the next reprint. This one is agility training. And I just think it's fun. Like I feel like Marge Simpson. I just think it's neat, you know. Very nice card art. I do like that Shoto's main arts. Like if you look at the ones drawn by Yuki, they're all very combat and training focused, and we'll see that on the next one as well that we look at. But they're very just. There's almost like a Digimon world, you know, Digilab, you know, training at the gym kind of feel going on with them, which is almost funny in a way because it's a card game, so you wouldn't do that with trading cards anyway. You wouldn't take the like. Yeah, I go back to Yu-Gi-Oh because we just opened up those Rush Duel structures, but you wouldn't take the Dark Magician or you know Elemental Hero Neos to the gym and go, okay, build up your attack stat, you know, 2,500. Those are rookie numbers. You got to pump those up, Neos. You know. Sorry, I'm choking on my own idiocy. So there, yeah. So that is agility training. Then we have defense training, and again, it's just that Shoto is a Digimon World protagonist and is just buffing up his Digimon. So, we love to see it. Um, Maybe Shoto can be a guest character in the next Digimon World game. That'd be kind of funny. Um, and then the last card on the pile is Wisdom Training. And that's got the cuter artwork to it. I love that Terramon and Shumon are just hunched over this book. Um, it's so cute. Look at it. Just such cute artwork. Yamaretsu, who did all like the because so it's 3 arts by Yuki and 3 arts by Yamaretsu, and for the Arisa deck, it's the same 2 artists doing other alt arts for these cards, but again, so it'll be 6 by each artist in total for the different things. So also that's why it's worth picking up doubles of these structure decks. I didn't in this instance because I was already buying 2. And I do want to, I wouldn't be able to play the Japanese cards legally in local tournaments, so I kind of want to wait until the English release. This is more just for display. I'm going to have the Liberator deck box arriving soon in a couple of months. So this was just an easy way to go, okay, well, look, I can put Shoto's deck into the deck box and put it up on display with the rest of my Digivices, where when the cards themselves come out in English, I'll be a bit more serious about actually playing them. So it's a good way to get a full playset and get some varied artworks while you're at it. So like that's I really do. I love the art of these. It is just a shame that like the box monsters don't get as many in their quantity stack. But again, I know why. Business, business, business. They want you to buy more product, and that is unfortunately just the nature of trading card games, right? That is just the nature of trading card games. So then we move on to the Fable Waltz structure deck. So that's this one here, Arisa's Shumon deck. So let's open this up. Yeah, I'm going to show off the playmat like I did with the Vortex Guardian. And it just fell out of my hands. Excuse me. I'm butterfingered today. I woke up not really feeling the best. I'm very ill. My head's light and I feel dizzy and I'm dropping everything. But anyway, that's not your concern. So here is the playmat for the Arisa deck. So we've got this cute art of Shumon here, and then this very elegant art of Sendrelmon, which shows that her knees do bend, even though she's wearing 2 Yggdrasils. Even though she's wearing 2 Yggdrasil cores on her legs, they do bend. I still think it would have been funnier if they don't. Like if she was permanently walking around in the stiffest high heels imaginable, but it's it's cool. She's a very elegant, I suppose is the word. I'm looking for something a little bit beyond, but she is a very elegant Digimon, and I do love like the fur and like the roses on the chest piece and then the helmet here, and just it's very graceful and elegant, and they did a really good job. Because never in a million years would you think that this thing, with its Agumon head shoe, for a body thing, turns into this, and that's just very old school Digimon to me. It doesn't seem like Terramon to Zephyrgamon makes a lot more sense aesthetically and thematically. This to this doesn't, and this is what I love about Digimon. When yeah, it just seems wild, as an evolution route where Shoto's is a bit more protagonist coded, so his evolution makes a bit more sense. But I love when Digimon gets crazy, Anyway, so same again. Just gonna pull the rule cards off the back here. Same insert, nothing crazy. You can scan the QR code if you want. It doesn't, it's just promo. And then I'm going to just pull the promos off the back of this as well. We'll go through them separately when we get through the main deck. And yeah, let's get started on that then. So first up we are what are we looking at first? Right. So what we're looking at first then is 4 copies of Kyaromon. Yes, Renamon's child level. That does suck. That and I mean it for, again, because I was talking about design aesthetic. Shumon should have its own dedicated child level. It shouldn't be borrowing from someone else, because if only because it's new. It already makes Shumon feel lesser. I think that that a brand new Digimon in the child form is using an older baby one, or doesn't have its own dedicated baby level, the same way Fluffymon does for Terramon. But I digress. To quote a human suplex machine. I wonder if anyone will actually get that reference. Okay, sorry, I'll stop fecking about. So we get 4 copies of Kyaromon here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Fair enough. Then we have Junkmon here, who gets some really fun art. I do like that he's also hanging out with the Trashmons, or fighting them. I think maybe more so fighting them. But we get 1, 2, 3, 4 of him. Then we get Shumon. Again, fantastic art, super rare. 1, 2 copies, just like the Terramon deck. So again, multiple decks if you want a play set of this and a play set of the full evolution line. And we get Pawn Chessmon, 4 copies of Pawn Chessmon White, who is wonderful. I think it really fits in with the whole theme of this deck, which is about Cinderella and all of that, and fairy tales and things. So having like a royal guard or an entourage totally makes sense for the context of the deck. But this is just fun art. Yamaretsu did a really good job with this. So, meanwhile, Shumon was designed. This card was done by Nakano Haito. Then we get Pawn Chessmon Black, and we get 1, 2, 3, 4 of that. Great, right? Also, really fun art. I think it's battling an Omekamon in the background. Hard to tell with like all the smoke and stuff, but I think it's battling an Omekamon. Um, oh no, wait, no, that's Ponchesmon White. Sorry, these arts aren't doing the thing where like it's the like some like with the recent Stingmon and XVmon and other cards where it was like the two cards, if you put them side by side, it's the perspective of the other monster. They aren't doing that, so I didn't realize that was Ponchesmon White at first, but makes sense. Ponchesmon Black is there, makes sense. Anyway, 4 copies of that. Then we get Digimon, um, who we recall from Digimon Frontier recently. There he is, 4 copies. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fun, goofy, Western, Warner Brothers, Looney Tunes art style to it. It's very good. The dog wants all the food. Makes sense. Then we have Tobu Catmon coming up here now. So, and we have also Digimon was our first level 4. This is our second in Tobu Catmon. We get 4 copies of this. Adorable artwork. An underrated Digimon design wise, I would say. You don't see an awful lot of it in Digimon media. So, uh, good to see it get represented here. And how it gets used in the Liberator comic is very fun as well. So, all right, now we get 2 copies of Shushumon. Again, I love this kind of Western Looney Tunes 90s, righteous cowabunga dude artwork that's going on. The grenade with the pin taken out of it is like just that extra bit of like hilarity and chaos. Like, cool guys don't look at explosions, and neither does this Sonic the Hedgehog squirrel on roller skates, Fisher Price roller skates, mind you, as she skates away from the explosions behind her. It's really cool. I love the artwork for the Shumon cards so much. But we get 2 of her. Next up, then, we get 4 copies of Pandamon, our first level 5 of the deck. There's Pandamon. We get 4 copies, yep, of XTRA. And this is amazing. I love this probably more than I should. Like, they really leaned into the plushie aesthetic and just put him in a claw machine. I mean, how fun is that? How stupid and like how stupid and cool is that? They just put him in a claw machine. Like, what? 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 um, but then it's just all the cameos. Like you've got a Numamon, Gabumon, Terriermon, Tokomon, Agumon, Karamon, a Patamon here. I think that might be a Motimon as well. I can't tell from here what's under the Tokomon. It could be a Shumon. It could be like the shoe. Um, but I just think this is I love this art. I do. Good job, Banira, with your design here. So now we have 2 copies of Chaperomon, um, who is just she's crazy. Yeah, have you guys read the profile? She's nuts. Little Red Riding Hood with her mimic uh, basket. I like that you can see the Gatling gun hiding inside the basket. It looks like but like with the shading, it also looks like one of those things from Animal Crossing, with the gyroids, or that, or the basket has eaten the villager Coco. I love it. And then the gummy bear Monzaimon, with the acorn, because squirrel, right? She's just, her previous form was a squirrel, so acorns, nuts, it all make that's it's great. And then just the just the shoe here. I love this. There's something very dark and macabre about her slippers being wolf heads with like the tongue sticking out, and then like the totally not blood. This is a Danganronpa game. Like just that she's like stepping through its brain, and it's just all the and then just the sinister Monzaimon jelly. I get this evolution line, is just fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And I'm looking forward to reading more about the design process for it in the recent interview that came out. We'll be covering that on Sunday for the live show before we make Meg read debug 1-1 and 1-2. So following up, then we get two copies of Sendralmon. The queen herself is here. It's great. Like, I complimented the art looking at the playmat. There's not a whole lot more I can say about the monster design itself. I do love how the foil hits the legs here rather than the body. So all of her like icy adornments, they've done a good job of like designing where the foil should hit on the monster to really make it pop. We've got the clock tower here in the background, the stained glass window, and the little I don't know. Does this bird have a name yet? Or is it just like Sendralmon's helper? Either way, you only get two copies, so playset. Two decks are going to be needed for a playset. September is going to be expensive. And then our other level 6 in the deck is 4 copies of Shin Monzaimon, who like has just been a fun design ever since it was introduced. It's nice to see it get more representation lately, because wasn't it first introduced like through the Vital Bracelet or something, or for like the 25th anniversary like VPET Vital Bracelet, and it was like, so it started off as like as a regular sprite, and then I might be misremembering, but I still love the art. It's almost got this kind of, and I know this came first, but it's got this kind of like Scarlet and Violet Ursaluna. The Blood Moon Ursaluna. It's got that kind of vibe going for it, like where its fur has decayed because it's an old teddy bear, like it's being stitched back together in the face, or it's got a zipper holding it. But where there's no fur is just like the infinite cosmos of the void, and there's just something really creepy about it as well. And the wings are great. Like it's just a fun design overall. So then we get 4 copies, yep, of the Arisa Kinosaki Tamer card. Fun design, cute pose, yatta. Yeah, it's great. Then we get 4 copies of our one and only option card. Well, not really, but so this is Noble Family Arts, and it's just great. Like, because we know like Sendralmon has this thing where like she sends her Chuchumon or her Chumon army pumpkin helper guys like to kidnap Digimon and bring them to her like her gala or her ball while she searches for like a mate or something. You know, so it's just fun artwork. It's just her just being, yes, bring me a new dance partner. Go, my little minions. It's fun art. And then we have 2 alt arts of Yellow Memory Boost. So again with the box art for the Shumon on the box art. It wielding the needle and thread is very cool. Um, like this the Centralmon that's like imposed on the back. The green memory boost did the same thing. You can see I didn't really spend too much time gushing over the art of the other cards because I don't know, like they're really nice art on the other structured X cards, but they don't tickle me the same way the art on these cards do. So I'm not trying to have a bias for like one over the other. It's just the art for these doesn't really tickle me as much. It's all very this is a monster. It's in the grass. And that's kind of it where the Shumon cards all have like something crazy and wacky going on. So I lean toward that more, but um where is he? Yeah, so you can like Zephygamon is here um on the other cards. You can like you see that purple like shine coming through, like that's his eye there. Um, so yeah, yellow memory boost, very fun. So then we get on to the offense, agility, wisdom, all those boosts, right? So we're going to be looking at these other reprints here, or the training cards, I should say, not boosts. So here we have offensive training. And again, it's just like that really like that thick outline art. You can see what I was saying about the digicode or the digimoji again coming through. On the card, it's got this like extra texture to it, makes it feel embossed but also glossy. I don't, it's some sort of card printing science or magic that they've applied to it, but really fun. Um, then we have mental training, which going back to like the whole Digimon world aesthetic we were talking about with the Shoto cards, you can see Orissa's like training up her Shumon or her Gaomon, I guess, under the waterfall here. And what I really like is I don't know if the camera can really pick up on it, but when the light hits the card, you can see that like the shot, it's got some sort of like crystallized texture to it. It's kind of coming through there, right? It's got this crystallized texture to it. So look, so in like you can see like there it's very apparent he's like that Gaomon is under a waterfall, and we all know that trope of meditating under a waterfall. But when the light hits the card, it's almost like he's also meditating in like front of like a crystal wall, and it's just very fun. But I also like this very worried, like, oh no, I'm out of my depth. What do we do? Expression that she's got going on here. Um, So next up, then we have the physical training. Um, where I get like, I guess her and Junkmon are racing. Junkmon's doing laps while you can see Orisa here on a megaphone, and Shumon just gets to coast. Not is sitting on, not even in, but sitting on the basket on the bicycle, while she's popping a wheelie, dude. That's cool. So yeah, very fun. And the way the foil hits the like the speed lines really makes it pop as well in real life. So cannot wait to have like a playset of like just these cards. Um, Next up, then we go back to the more cuter art style for the agility training. And like again, there's only so much. There's only so many times I can say that these are cute. Um, before I start thinking I'm being redundant. There's just something about like the posing, the heavy lines, the softer art style to it, especially like when compared to something like this. It was a great idea to have these two artists each do art for these cards. Like so you get six from one artist and six from the other, and like the contrasting art styles you can really sort of play what appeals to you. Because we look at the agility training on from the Shoto deck, you see what I mean even more. Where like these are the same card, they do the same thing, but the contrast in the art styles, you know, really sort of lets you as a player sort of lean into what way you want to play the cards more. So, or maybe I'm just overthinking it. That's also a possibility. I could just be overthinking it. Next up then is defense training. And again, more fantastic art by Yamaretsu, more digicode going around them as they train together. I do like they're in a boxing ring or a wrestling ring, and I love Teromon here holding up like the punching bag, and Shumon, just going all in. I'm very curious about how like this shoe here is just a mouth. Like you can see like the inside sole is its tongue. So like just as design wise, the Shumon line is just very appealing to me, just design wise, because it's got so many different like elements and like nuts and bolts to it that just like how would that work? Like if they were to if this was to be an anime, would there be no forethought put into it? Would there be a logic to how the shoe opens and closes as Shumon moves about? Or is it sentient? We don't know that yet, if the shoe is just a shoe or if it's sentient, or, because it's clearly got eyes, right? And you can see here, like on the other card art, like the shoe is also determined. You can see its eye is like closed over a bit, and it's like, yeah, we're doing this. We're doing the training. We're getting stronger. And then the final card for today is wisdom training, and this one might be my favorite just because Arissa's like, yeah, let's do some quick maths, and Goblimon is just, I'm dizzy. It's great. This one might be my favorite. I think this one might just actually be the funniest. Yeah, like again, well done to everyone. Very good. But that is it. I'm sorry to anyone who feels like the Vortex Guardian deck kind of got like the shaft here in terms of like my discussing it, but like this is what I mean. I'll go over them again real quick, right, just to kind of give you an idea of like why. All right, Fluffymon looks great, and him talking to his egg yolk self, right? So that's the other thing that bugs me as well, is that Shumon also, because she's using Kiaromon as her baby form, she's also using Kiaromon's hatched form, where they gave Teromon like two whole, like a baby form and a baby two, right? A baby one and a baby two. But ultimately, this card art isn't doing anything we haven't seen from other bird or green Digimon decks. The art is it's great art, but it's not wacky and crazy like the Shumon stuff is. The Piomon and the Falcomon ones, like these two are obviously like rivals or besties or something. So, they're in each other's artwork. Probably rivals, right? Just judging by the expressions on both of them. Piomon looks very fierce and determined rather than laughing and having fun. Then Teromon, it's great art. He's in a field, and you can totally tell he's probably doing the, I don't turn my back on anyone. Teromon is here to help you out. Kind of like the way he was in the comic. But again, there's no finer details to kind of like look for in these cards. Um, Muchomon, I'm not a fan of this artwork. He looks very stoned, very demented. Um, Koki, does great art for these cards. This just isn't. This doesn't work for me, brother. That's and that's where all it is. It's just an aesthetic choice. This doesn't work for me. Um, I'm actually terrified of the Muchomon in this card. He looks like he's I'd wake up in the middle of the night and he'd be waiting at the end of a hallway with a knife for me or something. Um, then the Kiwimon art, the Kiwimon's being a good mother father to its son daughters. Frontier reference. But it's just being a good parent feeding its chicks. And even though it's eating an apple, it doesn't really seem like it doesn't really seem like it's an asshole. So, um, then the Cockatreemon art is again very scary. Um, like I like that it's like laying eggs, but there's also I didn't realize this at first, but like that is also that's clearly a Digitamamon. That is not like a Digitama. It's a Digitamamon. So hard to tell if the Cockatreemon thinks it's an egg that it's roosting over, or if this thing tried to sneak in to eat this and now this is paying the price for it. But this is scary. um, Galemon is just big scary dragon in a forest. That's it. There's nothing else going on here. Um, Deramon, it's launching an attack and like there's a Floramon cameo in the back, probably an adventure reference there, but you know, it's fun, it's cute, but then Grand Galemon is just a big dragon in the sky with a sword. Like it looks awesome. I love the Galemon design, but it's just tonally different. It's cool, but it's not edgy enough. It for yeah, guys, if you've been here long enough, you know my aesthetic is all over the place as it is. But like this is a Digimon card. This is a card with a Digimon on it. That's really what this deck boils down to. Um, the Parrotmon arts, like he's getting Parrotmon here. He's getting ready to do an electric, like he's a Mishima in Tekken. He's just charging up his electricity. He's a charging up his laser. Ooh, that's a dated reference even for me. Um, Zephagamon looks like any other Mega level Digimon. The swords are on wind fire or something. That's fun, or his claws. But there's not a whole like there's not a whole lot else going on here. Um, then the Crossmon, that's what it was. And yeah, his name was Crossmon in the Japanese. Um, like he's just a static big gold bird thing in the sky. There's not really a whole lot going on in the artwork to guffaw over. Shoto, yeah, cool. I like Shoto. He's a fun character so far. Um, Still find it funny that his Tamer card had the little thing in his hair before he as a character did. And then the option card, Anamoe, yeah, Anamoe Embrace is, probably the most aesthetically pleasing of the card because, like, you know, there's like the big rock thing, but then you've got like the sun. Oh god, you've got like the sun setting or coming up over the mountain range. he's in the midst of battle, he's swooping around, it's whoosh. That's probably the most aesthetically pleasing artwork on the base deck. And then, yeah, again, the box art, which I've already complimented. It looks sick, and it would be awesome for more starter decks to do something like this, where the box art can be translated into card art. That'd be super fun. For like option cards and things, rather than just, say like the Wolf of Friendship or the Dragon of Courage deck, where it's just like the War Greymon or Melgarurumon on the box is the one. It feels more legendary Pokemon thing, where it's like the legendary on the box is the legendary that you catch. Where this just feels like, where these feel more like they were made, the artwork was done and they thought, oh, actually, let's make this a card in itself. The design is that fun. So yeah, so like I don't really have anything else at that point. That is everything from me for now with these decks. I hope you've had fun watching along. Thank you very much for checking them out. Now you know what to expect going into their release in September for the Western card game. If you hadn't picked up the Japanese version yet and were waiting to see if they were worth the investment, hopefully this has helped with that. So I am going to leave it off here. Thank you all so much for joining in. This went a bit longer than I thought the other one was. Like, the other video was, about less than 14 minutes? Because we kind of just rushed through the Rush Duel decks. Paid this a bit more attention. So, yeah. I don't know what else to say now. I am not good at endings, so I'm just going to hit the stop recording button. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully we'll see you on Sunday for our live read-through of Digimon Liberator Debug 1-1 and 1-2. Leave your thoughts on the decks themselves, the artwork, anything we've kind of covered today down below. Any combos that you're looking forward to trying out once you have the cards in hand yourself. Let's get a bit of a discussion going down below. And we'll see you again soon. Ta-ra for now. Bye.